of applause. Thank you so much, everyone. So we will be starting with the event very shortly. And let me tell you that this is the 24th annual edition of CIVITAS, as you all know. And we have students from around 21 different universities here. And this is going to be one of the big events that we have here. And we are here on the behalf of lovely Professional University.
Once again, a very good morning to all of you present here. A very good morning to all the dignitaries on the stage.
So let us start with the event. Can we please have a huge round of applause to welcome all the guests of the event. So by this, let us kickstart with the event. I welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of CIVITAS 24th Annual Nosplan Convention 2022-23, organized by the Department of Urban Planning in association with Department of Student Organization under the aegis of Division of Youth Affairs, Student Welfare Wing, lovely Professional Universities. I would like to extend a very hearty welcome to the chief guest of the event, Madam Rashmi Mittal, worthy Pro-Chancellor, lovely Professional Universities. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a huge round of applause to welcome her. I would also like to extend a very warm welcome to the eminent guests of the event, Mr. Srinivas Sir, TCPO, retired Chief Town Planner, Dr. Raja Singh Sir, Advisor, ISEC, Center for Built Environment Policy, Dr. Sanjay Modi Sir, respected Pro-Vice Chancellor, lovely Professional University, Dr. and Architect Atul Kumar Singla Sir, Head, lovely School of Architecture and Design, lovely Professional University, Dr. Saurabh Likhanpal Sir, Professor and Dean, Student Welfare Wing, lovely Professional University, Chidambri Kulkarni, President of National Organization of Students of Planning, and Jalaj Rana, Vice President of National Organization of Students of Planning.
Dear audience, I request you all to give a huge thunderous applause for all our eminent dignitaries. A louder applause, please, with a lot more gusto and enthusiasm.
I also like to welcome Executive Council of Nosplan, Unit Council of Nosplan and team mentors, and students who are here from different universities and colleges and from different states and places from India.
A huge round of applause for all of you who've joined us here.
All head of wings, divisions, schools and departments, staff and faculty members and students of lovely Professional Universities. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a huge round of applause to welcome them all on stage.
Dear audience, the National Organization of Students of Planning is a student body organization established initially in 1971 by SPA Delhi and IIT Kharagpur and later registered under the Societies Act 1860 in 2008. It is the only student-level organization dedicated towards developing the community of planning students all over India. To achieve its objectives, Nosplan conducts different activities and events for students, and the main event which we've all gathered here for is the annual convention. And mind you, this is the 24th annual convention of Nosplan. Ladies and gentlemen, please. It also symbolizes that we...
Dr. Saurabh Likhanpal Sir, Professor and Dean, Student Welfare Wing, lovely Professional University, to kindly present a bouquet to Mr. Srinivas Sir, TCPO, retired Chief Town Planner. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a huge round of applause?
I now request the chief guest of our event, Madam Rashmi Mittal, Pro-Chancellor LPU, to kindly step forward and all the eminent dignitaries to please join her for the lamp lighting ceremony.
And I would also request the members of Executive Council to kindly come on the stage for the lamp lighting ceremony.
The lamp lighting ceremony is one of the most pious steps that we take towards beginning of an event. It is symbolic to the knowledge, it's symbolic to a great start. It also symbolizes that we seek the blessings of the Almighty and begin the event in such a manner that it all goes auspiciously well. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, guests. Ladies and gentlemen, I now request the Vice President of Nosplan, Jalaj Rana, to kindly give the welcome address. With a hearty, hearty applause, please welcome the Vice President of Nosplan, Jalaj Rana.
Good morning, everyone. So, for in between the miles to go and miles to come, I heartily welcome all of you to in LPU for coming here and to make this event so that we can make this event a great success. And I also want to thank or hand my great gratitude to Ms. Lakshmi Mittal ma'am, the Pro-Chancellor of LPU University, for coming to our inauguration ceremony. Also, to come to the Nosplan, Nosplan was started in 1971. Even though we have great challenges, but due to the strength of the students and for the people, we continue to grow further. We were the members of 15 colleges till last year, and today we are members of 26 colleges, and 21 colleges are present here. So a huge round of applause for all of you. And thank you. I welcome you all, and best of luck for all the events which are going to happen in LPU. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Dear audience, I request you all to give him a huge round of applause with a lot more gusto. You've had an amazing morning until now, and now is the time that you show all that energy here. So once again, a huge round of applause for all of you, for all the guests, and definitely the Vice President of Nosplan. एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाए.
Next, I would like to call upon Doctor and Architect Atul Kumar Singla sir, Head Lovely School of Architecture and Design, Lovely Professional University, who is the eminent guest of the event, to kindly come on the dais for the address. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Thank you so much. I'll start with on a very disturbing note. A 7.8 magnitude earthquake hit Turkey on the 6th of February. 40,000 people have died, and the count is rising. 3,450 structures are down. What's shocking for us here to know is that the buildings which were built to new seismic standards which was started a few years back, have been flattened. While the old structures, some of the old structures, are still standing. Preliminary reports show that the failure to implement and enforce building regulations is the culprit, something planners are responsible for. Turkish authorities have arrested contractors, and the Ministry of Justice has started investigating something called earthquake crimes. Well, just something to think about as we get together today. Greetings, everyone. Respected Pro-Chancellor Ma'am, Dr. Sanjay Modi Sir, heads of school, eminent scholars, honored guests, dear students. Welcome to the 24th Annual Nosplan Convention hosted by LPU. Nosplan is a platform for planning students from across India to come together and through formal, informal events, share their ideas, their innovative thoughts, debate, deliberate, and discuss. It is also a moment to relax, unwind, and connect with budding planners, your mentors. I acknowledge today the participation of 600 delegates from across India, from 21 colleges. I welcome you all. The opening news is the jolt, perhaps, that all of us, architects, planners, policymakers, enforcement agencies require. We are grappling with issues in built environment. Joshimath, where ill urban planning devastated homes, or the very city and neighborhood where I live, heaps of garbage, solid waste issues, multiple issues. The union budget talks of India turning 100 and half of our population living in urban areas. Obviously, we need to nurture our mega cities, but it also calls for facilitation in Tier 1, in Tier 2, and Tier 3 cities. Rapid urbanization requires exponential rise in investment. We are looking at a figure of 64 lakh crores over the next 15 years to 2036. At present, it's about 8.28 lakh crores, so about 6 times. I think that's a huge responsibility for people in this room. We have to rethink traditional urban planning models. That's what the Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs, Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, has said. We have to harness economic potential of the cities in a sustainable manner. We have to look at urban resilience and cities which are equipped to handle global stresses, issues like water scarcity. At the world level, at the global level, and in India, planners are attempting issues. There are a lot of ways in which planners are trying to address these issues with authorities. Elon Musk, for example, has partnered with real estate developer Lennar, and they're building a new SpaceX facility which will be looking at 3D printed homes. Dubai is looking at making its infrastructure, its city, the best city to live in by 2040. And closer home, Pune, Varanasi, Chennai are supposed to be ready by March 2023 as per the government. But clearly, we need more answers, and quickly. I hope many of them will come from people here today. And I hope this coming week will address many such issues and come up with some wonderful solutions. Thank you very much. Happy Nosplan.
Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, our hearts and our prayers go out to the ones who are affected. And definitely, we have young, brightest minds sitting here to come up with best solutions and plans in the next 3 days. So, a huge round of applause for yourselves, the budding, enthusiastic planners who are sitting here, the bright minds who are sitting here.
Exactly. So moving further, I would like to welcome Dr. Sanjay Modi sir, respected Pro Vice Chancellor, Lovely Professional University, to kindly come on the dais and address the audience with his kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please welcome him on the dais with a huge round of applause.
Chief guest of the day, Pro-Chancellor Mrs. Rashmi Mittal, dignitaries on the dais, faculty and students. It's a very satisfying feeling that one gets when you are amongst the students in an event which is organized by students. I think this is one thing which is unique to the town planners, the budding town planners, that they have established an organization and have successfully managed it over such a long period of time. I think the whole organization, SPA and IIT Roorkee, deserve all the kudos for having done this great job. And I'm sure that the teams which are managing it, the students who are managing it, must be undergoing a lot of experience and gaining a lot of confidence through this organization. Well, having said that, I would just like to bring to your notice a few things, some of the things which Dr. Atul has already spoken about, sinking of the Joshimath. There's another cities which are sinking. I was reading Mexico, some parts of Mexico are sinking at a rate of about 9 centimeters or 9 inches per year. And there are cities which are sinking at about 1 centimeter per year, plenty of them. In fact, there are, if you look at the literature, there will be about a dozen cities which are likely to get submerged in a fairly short period of time if something is not done about it. Of course, these are all issues don't relate only to the urban planners, but to the larger community as well. But I think urban planners have to show their concern to these issues to at least secure the future, because these are the lessons. Apart from the high-rise building which have collapsed in Turkey, I don't know how many of you would remember, about 5 years ago, I think 2017, there was a fire in a 24-story building in London, and where 72 people died. So how do you manage your fire safety in high-rise buildings which have become the trend of today? How do you protect? Earthquake is one part of it. But this is a normal activity. If you have a short circuit, you can't risk the lives of hundreds of people staying in multi-stories buildings. And if you look at it, the entire Gurgaon or whatever growth is happening today, it is in multi-storied complexes. So urban planners have to look at what is happening. And I spoke about cities sinking. They're going below sea level. Venice, Dhaka, Houston, Lagos, Bangkok, New Orleans, Rotterdam, across the world, this is a story. But I think my major concern, which I would like to make you aware of, is the global water crisis, which they say water will be the new petroleum of this century, which means very expensive. The statistics say that 97% of the water available on the earth is seawater. 2% is in the form of ice, and only 1% is fresh water. And fresh water, major chunk of it is underground. So you can imagine the kind of crisis we are looking at, because desalination, etc., are very expensive propositions as of now. If something remarkable happens in the near future, that will be great news. But I think all of us would remember very shortly, I think a couple of years ago, Cape Town was running out of water. They had only about few days of water left. You can imagine the crisis. And look at the Sao Paulo, Melbourne, Bangalore, Jakarta, London, Barcelona, Mexico City. All these are on the verge of water scarcity. People are not getting water to drink. It is being rationed at a number of places. And you have cities in various parts, particularly in US, where cities are getting water from 100 kilometers. The water is being transported for agriculture use, for domestic use, because the water bodies are not being taken care of. Or the industrialization is happening at places where it should not have been happening. So whose concern is that? And I was reading that if you install, for example, today a lot of breweries are getting established. People are loving beer and drinking. It's so fashionable to do that. But can you put them up anywhere and everywhere? They consume huge amount of water. Meat eating is another industry. All meat manufacturing industry is consuming very large amounts of water. And agriculture, as on date, is extremely wasteful. People are flooding, and we are growing rice in Punjab and northern India where we are not as much rain-fed. So what are the industries which need to be put up? Can there be some international norms? It is not only at national level, I think. You have to have certain international norms agreed upon, and those could serve as guidelines to national economies, and you can further tune them to the needs of the local economies. I think one thing which is very peculiar is, as Dr. Atul also mentioned, old buildings were standing in Turkey. And when, if you remember, there was a earthquake in Latur also, I think a long time back in India, in Maharashtra, and the old buildings there also were standing and the new ones got demolished. So you have to worry about this, what is happening. I think another dimension to the problem is, which I see, is that traditionally, the older people had the wisdom to safeguard their water bodies and create channels to avoid flooding, etc. And in the construction race, we have kind of destroyed all those safeguards in the interests of urbanization or under pressure from the builders' lobbies. I think we need to think about it. And that has, by and large, resulted in, a city like Patiala was never known for floods, but we had floods. Huge amount of floods, never, unprecedented in Patiala. I'm sure you will be familiar with that incident. That was because there was some mismanagement. The channel was, safety channel, Badi Nadi was not dredged regularly, not maintained, which resulted into the disaster. And the NASA satellite shows that in the last about 1 decade, 29 trillion gallons in northern India has been sucked out of the aquifers. 29 trillion gallons in just 1 decade. So these are the kind of, and you know what? You'll be surprised to know that today, hedge funds, you may not understand the term, but you call it as businesses, have started investing in water. Because they believe if you invest in water today, water futures, perhaps in future you can make a lot of profit on water like you make on petroleum. So this is going to be the fate of water. So, and another thing is the leakages of water. 40% leakages, global standards say water gets leaked, or sewage pipes leak and they contaminate the groundwater, drinking water. So my appeal to all the urban planners is look at water as a very critical resource, and we should all become conscious as to how, as urban planners, we can plan our cities and dwelling, whatever dwelling areas we create from this perspective, that at least, because water is life. There's no life without water. All the population of the world, I think 95% of the population of the world lives about within 10 kilometers of the water bodies. People who are very sensible. So I think those are the issues which urban planners should be seized of, and I'm sure young minds, because it is your future and the future of the generations after you, which is at stake. We have done huge amount of damage as a generation to the whole environment and to the urban setup. So it's for you people to salvage the situation and think about some meaningful solutions. With this, I wish the event a grand success. 21 teams competing. I'm sure they will work on very meaningful problems and forward those solutions and suggestions to the government and make sure that they become implemented. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. And I really hope and wish that these are the future planners and they will live up to the expectations and they will surely be coming with the new solutions and new strategies. So moving forward, I would like to request Mr. Srinivas, retired Chief Town Planner from TCPO, that is Town and Country Planning Organization, to kindly come forward on the dais to address the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Thank you. There is a slight correction in the address because I was never a chief town planner, but I was heading the metropolitan planning division. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizer of Nosplan and dignitaries on the dais, Pro BC Madam, HOD Urban Design and Architecture Department, and dear participants. The previous speaker rightly pointed out the challenges which we are going to face. Of course, the census 2021 figures are not yet out. Actually, we are all curiously, waiting for those figures. But the estimates are there that our urban population is going to reach 41 crore by 2021, and Amrit Kal, what we are saying, India at 100, we are going to have 80 crore population. And there are some reports that we have already overtaken China in terms of total population, and in another decade, we are going to overtake urban population. Now imagine 80 crore population residing in 10,000 plus cities and towns would be a huge challenge. Previous speaker mentioned about the water scarcity. Sir, you have also given the example of Cape Town, where it ran out of the water supply. And in fact, Niti Aayog report says, one of the report on water supply, it says that 20 million plus cities may run out of water if monsoon fails consecutively for 2 to 3 years. So that's why Ministry of Housing Urban Affairs, they recognize this problem. They appreciated the concern, and then they came up with the Amrit 2 vision, mission. And Amrit 2 vision is totally water-centric mission, sir, wherein funds would be available if cities, they go for a water action plan, they go for city aquifer plan, ensuring that we do not go for indiscriminate, extraction of groundwater. So we will have to have water security. Now, of course, looking all the youngsters, I feel totally recharged, and now I am actively involved in teaching the students as School of Planning and Architecture in Delhi. Now we'll have to see, now you must have seen the reports that how states have become proactive, States are, organizing global investment summit, they want to attract investment from abroad. In fact, I think state of Punjab is also thinking on the same lines. Now, if you have huge investments from, abroad, and you have lot of joint ventures, so more investment means that you will have to ensure planned development. Otherwise the investments will go waste. You may invest on manufacturing units. You may invest on, IT. You may invest on, the manufacturing units producing the, the electronic goods or automobiles. But until unless you ensure planned development, all investment may go, waits. So I see, but there is now from pessimism we are going towards optimism. That's very much important, and I see that all the youngsters definitely they are going to think out of box. There will be tremendous challenges. And kindly recall last budget speech by the Honorable Finance Minister. Urban planning was for the first time, it was explicitly mentioned. And I keep on telling my students, and in fact I was fortunate to provide inputs to the first budget, the last year budget speech, and this time also I was called by the ministry to provide inputs to the, this year budget speech. So kindly see that in the last budget speech it was mentioned that you will have to work on urban planning reforms, You will have to, do away with the as business as usual approach. And he also mentioned about the honorable ministers, in the U20 his speech that you have to adopt modern practices in the urban planning. So there are, identified reforms wherein we have requested the state government to start implementing the reforms. And few reforms I can quote. And in fact, I think a lot of students are also working towards their thesis. First and foremost is modernization of building bylaws. And Pro VC sir has mentioned about, Turkey. I think you mentioned about Turkey. Now that gives a lesson. And in fact, India was the first country to reach Turkey and start, helping. And that's good that they are getting experience. But it's also a good learning for us that how we can ensure stringent enforcement. And Joshimath is also a learning experience, and then the Uttarakhand government realized that there is a need for town planners. That's why they, advertise posts for town planners, because there are hardly 3 or 4 town planners working for the entire state. And similarly, one state, Tripura, also hardly 2 or 3 planners. And the cities are growing, Then who are going to, it will be a duty of urban planners to ensure the planned development or planned growth of cities. So there are tremendous, potential, and in fact, let me also tell that pandemic, the 2 or 3 years of pandemic, that was also learning experience for the planners. There was a concept from, work from or study from home. Now, work from anywhere. Now the potential, you have to unearth the potential of, tier 2 and 3 towns. There could be a lot of investment. If you work, if you ensure, fast connectivity, if you including, the Gram Panchayat, if you ensure connectivity through optic fiber, you can ensure high, transfer of audio video data. So you can work from anywhere. So there is a tremendous potential for all the cities and towns, especially the small and medium towns where you can attract large, investments. But at the same time, we have to, simply if we keep on expanding our urban areas, somewhere we will have to see that we do not convert our rich agriculture land, Ultimately, where you are going to get land for urbanization, you will have to somewhere, you cannot go for bulk land acquisition, because the latest LARR says that unless you get the consent of 80% farmers, you cannot go for, land acquisition. But again, you can go through negotiated, negotiations, land, assembled through negotiations. So these are all latest issues, and we are also emphasizing, of course, Government of India, Ministry of Housing has already taken a decision that we need to have a GIS-based master plan for all the statutory towns, the towns which have urban local bodies. But at the same time, we are also curious to know that how many census towns would be added in the 2021 census. Because census town, they don't have any, urban local body. Maybe some of the census towns are under the administrative control of Gram Panchayat. So that doesn't mean that we are not going to have planned development. So it depends, how state governments are proactive in, notifying their census town. And I think in next 5 years, all statutory towns will have GIS-based master plan. So once you are going to have a GIS-based master plan, you will have to also focus on 2 important aspects. Normally, the traditional master plans have not focused on disaster management. Second is climate resilience. And it's quite possible, due to global warming, we may have low-lying area, along the coastal cities may get submerged. So somewhere through master plan, you also have to work on integration of blue and green infrastructure, which is actually one of the reforms. The other reforms are, modernization of building policy. I have already mentioned that transfer of development rights, local area plan, town planning scheme, the bottom-up approach. Can you resolve the city, issues, regarding the solid waste management, wastewater treatment, ensuring sewerage connectivity to each and every household. I think these kind of problems can always be solved or resolved once you go for local area plan. And if you have to ensure plan development, you can also.
And you can further tune them to the needs of the local economy.
Master plan for all the statutory towns, the towns which have urban local bodies. But at the same time, we are also curious to know that how many census towns would be added in the 2021 census. Because census town, they don't have any, urban local body, maybe some of the census towns are under the administrative control of Gram Panchayat. So that doesn't mean that we are not going to have planned development. So it depends, how state governments are proactive in, notifying their census town. And I think in next 5 years, all statutory towns will have a GIS-based master plan. So once you are going to have a GIS-based master plan, you will have to also focus on two important aspects. Normally, the traditional master plans have not focused on disaster management. Second is climate resilience. And it's quite possible, due to global warming, we may have low-lying area, along the coastal cities may get submerged. So somewhere through master plan, you also have to work on integration of blue and green infrastructure, which is actually one of the reform. The other reforms are, modernization of building policy. I have already mentioned that transfer of development rights, local area plan, town planning scheme, the bottom-up approach. Can you resolve the city, issues, regarding the solid waste management, wastewater treatment, ensuring sewerage connectivity to each and every household. I think these kind of problems can always be solved or resolved once you go for local area plan. And if you have to ensure plan development, you can also adopt land pooling or town planning schemes. So these have all become the part of, urban planning reforms. And we had a very good, the last year budget had earmarked, 6,000 crore rupees for exclusively for implementing these reforms, and we have very encouraging response from the state government on so many issues that how we are going to transform our, urban area. Very success for your future endeavors. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words, and it was all our pleasure.
Dear audience, I would now like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Arvind. And with this, I request Sir to kindly address the audience now. Sir, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please welcome him on the dais with a huge round of applause.
Ma'am, Mrs. Rashmi Mittal, who has steered LPU as one of the most disciplined and vibrant university with all-around friendly environment for many thousand students and staff members. Friendly environment and an innovator who professes fundamental principles of humanity and society while dedicating her life to the cause of education and meaningful research. She is awarded with the Mother Teresa Award, Rashtra Gaurav Award, Rising Star of Asia. She is awarded with many, many accolades like that. She has been dedicating her life, and we acknowledge that on this very stage. Ma'am, we welcome you. Dear audience, please put your hands together for the Lady of the Hour, our chief guest of the event, Madam Rashmi Mittal, Pro-Chancellor, Lovely Professional University.
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to welcome all these students from different universities who've gathered here for this Nosplan, which is a 23-year-old, now 24-year-old organization. And I'm very, very elated and happy to see the budding leadership which is owning this constitution. And I'm very happy to see the kind of flair and the energy which is present in this auditorium. So thank you so much for inviting me here as the chief guest. I've already seen your heads speaking to you and talking about all the challenges that as India we are facing. So I'm sure all of you budding people are understanding what is your responsibility, but I think we all need to take baby steps. That's what I feel. Now since you are here for learning from each other, the diversity that now you people have within you, because since they are students from different states also and different universities, I'm sure you would learn from each other, and a lot of networking would happen, which would greatly help you. So also, I think take baby steps to see around what you can do, what little bit you can do in your capacity. Because sometimes, we hear big things which has been planned for all of us. It's good to see them, but at the same time, how do we go forward to them? It's it is once looking at your own house, and maybe you can begin from your own home and see what could be done at your level in your home, sitting with your parents and discussing how the things could be improved in your locality first, and then your state, and then your country, of course. So this is the time, children, when you are all here, learn maximum from each other, because it's very easy, because I was told by Dr. Saurabh that some technical events are going to happen, some sports and cultural events are also going to happen. So I think it's very easy to sit in the audience and clap or, make fun of people who are sitting on the stage. It's very difficult. It takes courage to be on the stage and speaking something and doing something, activity or dance or whatever you endeavor. I think I would congratulate you all, and also I feel that you are blessed and you're all lucky to be a part of this contingent from your own university. So feel that this is an advantage given to you, and how you make use of this advantage to the best of your abilities. That is what should be your plan for these 3 days. So all my blessings to all of you, and I think you've all heard so much from all of us, and see how you can use that and make life better for yourself and your people around you who are affected by you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Blessings from all my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for our worthy Pro-Chancellor, Madam Rashmi Mittal. And absolutely, ma'am, here is to taking baby steps, networking and learning in the next 3 days.
Now moving further to the felicitation ceremony, I would request the chief guest of the event, Madam Rashmi Mittal, worthy Pro-Chancellor, Lovely Profession University, and Dr. Sanjay Modi sir, respected Pro-Vice Chancellor, Lovely Profession University, to kindly present a small token of appreciation to the guest of the event, Mr. Srinivas sir. And I would also request Mr. Srinivas sir to kindly accept a small token of appreciation from our end. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a huge round of applause for this?
तालियों में कंजूसी नहीं, तालियों की आवाज़ आपकी appreciation को अदा करती है.
Now I would request Chief Guest of the event, Madam Rashmi Mittal, and eminent guest of the event, Dr. Sanjay Modi sir, to kindly present a small token of honor to Mr. Arvinder Dhal sir, DTP Jind, Haryana. And I would request Mr. Arvinder Dhal sir to kindly accept a small token of honor from our end. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a huge round of applause for this as well? Next, I would request Chief Guest of the event, Madam Rashmi Mittal, and eminent guest of the event, Dr. Sanjay Modi sir, to kindly present a small token of appreciation to Dr. Raja Singh sir, Advisor, ISEC, Center for Built Environment Policy. And I would request Dr. Raja Singh sir, Advisor, ISEC, Center for Built Environment Policy, to kindly accept a small token of appreciation from our end. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a huge round of applause? I hope you all had a breakfast in the morning, so can we please have a huge round of applause?
And with this, I request all the dignitaries on the stage to kindly take their seats downstage. I request all the dignitaries on the stage to kindly proceed and take their seats downstage. And I now request the President of Nosplan, Chidambari Kulkarni, to present the formal vote of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a huge round of applause to welcome her on the stage?
Thank you so much, Ananya. Yes, sir.
Chidambari, you can proceed with your vote of thanks.
Thank you. So, as Jalas said, in between the miles gone and miles to go, we gather here today to celebrate another approach Chancellor, Lowry Professional University, Srinivas Sir, Dr. Raja Singh Sir, Arvinder Sir, Sanjay Modi Sir, Dr. Atul Kumar Sir, Dr. Saurav Lakhanpal, very thank you from our side. And very important, our Executive Council, who was working for whole tenure, Abhishek, Jalaj, Meet, Priyamvada, Shravya, a heartful gratitude and a thank you. Also, most important, my parents, I would also like to thank them for supporting me and my college faculty and the friends. Let the convention begin now.
Thank you so much, Chidambari. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, एक बारी तो अपने लिए आप जोरदार तालियां मार दीजिए ताकि थोड़ा और enthusiasm reverberate करे इस हॉल में. I understand your plight. मैं समझती हूँ that we've been hearing a lot of insightful words here. And जब मैं अरविंदर सर को सुन रही थी, उन्होंने जब mention किया कि किताबें जब हम पढ़ते हैं नॉलेज तो ठीक है लेकिन प्रैक्टिकलिटी में घुसना चाहिए, और इसी से मुझे एक कपलेट याद आया है, और वो कपलेट है, धूप में निकलो घटाओं में नहाकर देखो, जिंदगी क्या है किताबों को हटाकर देखो. सो इट्स नॉट ऑलवेज द बुकिश नॉलेज दैट्स गोना लीड यू टू प्लेसेस. डेफिनेटली द प्रैक्टिकलिटी एंड द प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज कम्स फर्स्ट. And with this, dear audience, I'd like to tell you all that the stage is being set up for a very special performance. मैं जानती हूँ कि हम सुबह से यहाँ बैठे हैं, मैं जानती हूँ हमने बहुत words सुने हैं, but what better way to increase the enthusiasm in this hall than to see and witness two very beautiful performances which will be showcased in front of you. तो मैं आपको थोड़ी सी हिंट दे देती हूँ जो हमारी अगली पेशकश आने वाली है आपके सामने, द कल्चरल इवेंट दैट वी प्लान्ड फॉर यू. डेफिनेटली आपने साज सुना है एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट का, हम आपके सामने पेश करेंगे एक गज़ल. और उससे पहले मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ कि आप सब में से यहाँ पंजाब पहली बार कौन आया है? एक बारी हाथ खड़े कर दीजिए, थोड़ी सी आवाज़ भी कर दीजिए, तालियाँ भी मार दीजिए. आपका स्वागत है. मेरा दूसरा क्वेश्चन आपसे ये है, यहाँ महाराष्ट्र से कौन कौन आया है? क्योंकि आज जब मैं सुबह आ रही थी तो मुझे मीठी मीठी मराठी सुनाई दे रही थी. तो आप सबके लिए applause for the artists on stage. We present you a ghazal. तालियां रुकनी नहीं चाहिए.